Can we use metal equipment in aquaponics? This is what we're going to see together in this video. So a few years ago, I received a call from an aquaponics beginner who built this system, and the system was working well until after a few months he started to lose one fish, and then he started to lose another one, and the following week he lost two other fish, and so on until he lost all his fish. So he tried again and he put a few more goldfish, and the goldfish died. So he called me because he couldn't find what was the problem. So before going there, I expected to see a problem of nitrates, you know, a toxicity in the water, or a disease in the aquaponics system, something that could be a bit tricky to find. But I was there, and I came there with my water test kit, and I was sure it would be a bit of an investigation, right? But when I arrived in front of the system, I could really see it straight away what the problem was. So it's related to the topic of this video, obviously. We are talking about metals in aquaponics. Can we add metal in the aquaponics system? In aquaponics system, you got two tanks, sometimes more, and some people choose to use metal tanks. Also, sometimes, you know, you got the pipes from the pump to the grow bed. Some people have tried sometimes to use metal pipes, or even the tape, you know, the valves. Some people just recycle tapes, which would be a good idea to recycle things. But my recommendation is to stay away from any metal. When you put metal in the system, unfortunately, there are some reactions between the water and the metal. You know, there are some oxidation, but also the metal is going to release some ions into the water. And so the concentration of metal is going to increase slowly, even if you work with stainless steel, stainless metals, because whatever the quality of the stainless is, it still breaks down slowly. So if it's a big piece of metal, like if it's a tank, even if it's stainless steel, it's going to still release a significant quantity of ions into the water, and so the concentration of metal in the water is going to increase. And the fish are extremely sensitive to the metals. The algae as well, if it's copper, it's going to kill you plants, it's going to kill you algae if it reaches a certain concentration. So it's always about balance, right? You know that the plants, they need metal to grow, right? I mean, they need mineral elements, and they need a lot of them. In copper is one of them. They need it, but in a very low concentration. But if you add a copper tape in your system, then it's going to release some copper in the system. But the problem is, because we are in a closed environment, the copper is going to be released and it's going to remain in the system, and always increase with time, right? So you're going to reach some concentrations that are going to be significantly high, and unfortunately your fish are not going to be able to handle it. Your fish, your plants, your algae. So really, that's what I recommend, is to stay away from any metal in your system. And back to my story at the beginning, when I arrived to this aquaponics beginner's place and I saw the system, I could see that he put a metal tape in the system. So I simply asked him to just remove this tape and to put a new valve, a classic valve in plastic or PVC. After a few weeks, after a month, flushing all the water away, obviously, and after a month, system running again with a normal tape to try with some goldfish. And he did the experiment, and the fish were able to survive without any problem. And after a while, he added all the fish, and now he's got the system running really well. So that's a very simple advice. I think I haven't emphasized this point enough. Really stay away from metals. The only metal piece that you can have in an aquaponics system is the axle of the pump, you know, the water pump. When you got the rotor, it's running around the axle. This one can be in metal. Most of the time, I recommend to have it in ceramic. It's much better because it's harder. That's my advice for today's video. If you have too many fish, or if you produce too much nitrogen for the number of plants you have, and if you use the water of your system to water your normal garden, then the concentration of metals in the water is not gonna increase so much because you always remove some. But still, I would still recommend highly to stay away from metals in aquaponics. That's the base for me. No metals in your aquaponics system. So if you are new to aquaponics and if you are trying to build your aquaponics system and to maintain it and to find the best advice, I give you a free aquaponics training from the description of the video just below. It's a training where basically you can learn how to build a setup, to know the limits, quantity of fish, the ratio between the fish and the bacteria, the size of the tanks, all those type of things. And also I give you some advice into the management of the system. So it's free again, and it's in the description of the video or in the like information in the corner of the video here or there. If you're new, again, you can subscribe to the channel because I release one video every week to give you my best advice and to help you to grow sustainable, healthy and tasty food in your aquaponics system. I see you in the next video. Bye bye. Don't forget to get your free gift from this screen. You can also leave me a comment below the video, subscribe to the channel and see my last video. I really hope to see you soon, and I wish you a fantastic success with aquaponics. Have a good crop!